It has all the hallmarks of a story that really grabs your attention. The healthcare industry, violence in America, proliferation of guns. It's got everything.
Well, it's the crime that has rocked a megacity and shocked the globe. The CEO of a major health insurer, the victim of a brazen assassination outside a New York City hotel. The alleged killer is this man, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, an Ivy League graduate with no known criminal record. In this Spotlight Digital special, we take an inside look at how this alleged murder unfolded, the key detail behind the assassin's motive, and the disturbing number of supporters rallying behind the alleged killer. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione grew up in Baltimore. His family are well known in the area, owning a nursing home chain, which, according to his LinkedIn, Luigi actually volunteered at. He graduated at the top of his grade from a prestigious all-boys school in 2016 and went on to attend the University of Pennsylvania, where he got his master's in computer science. After graduating, Mangione worked as a software engineer.
This is a person that wasn't on anybody's radar. He wasn't on law enforcement's radar.
It was just before sunrise on Wednesday, December 4, when Brian Thompson was assassinated. The 50-year-old father of two was in town from Minnesota to attend an investor meeting for his company, UnitedHealthcare. Its parent company, UnitedHealthcare Group, is the fourth biggest moneymaker in the United States after Walmart, Amazon and Apple. It was set to present investors that day with a revenue forecast for the coming year of US $450 billion. CCTV shows Thompson walking toward the Midtown Hilton Hotel at about 6:45 a.m. Suddenly, a man wearing a black hoodie appears in the shot. That man is believed to be Luigi Mangione.
He holds up the gun and he fires several times. And you see him with the weapon struggling because it jams at a couple of different moments. And after he shoots him in the middle of the street, he runs off and he flees through an alleyway. He gets a hold of an e-bike and he runs through Central Park. At some point, he ditches the very distinctive backpack that he had somewhere in the park, and he continues on his route. So he was presumed to have left the area of New York City.
To me, the CCTV camera video clearly showed that he had a plan. He conducted surveillance. So he had a level of sophistication to what he wanted to do. He planned this.
The initial goal for the NYPD was to find a clear shot of the suspect's face.
Because up until that point, every single shot they had of him, he was wearing his mask. Now, interestingly enough, that moment of weakness came when he was at the hostel that he was staying at, and he was actually flirting with the person behind the desk. And in the middle of that flirtation, in that moment, he took his mask down and he flashed her a smile.
That photo of Mangione's face was plastered everywhere.
By blanketing the news with his photographs, known photographs, the police got very lucky that a citizen saw him, called the police.
A McDonald's employee did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something.
5 days on from the shooting, police had a breakthrough.
He was in the back of the McDonald's just eating when a worker noticed him and called local authorities.
Police quickly arrived and asked Mangione for his ID.
So when they approached, they noticed that once they started asking about New York, he started shaking and he started visibly becoming uncomfortable. Once they asked him who he was, he showed them one of the fake IDs, the standard one that he had amongst all of the other IDs that he had. And once they realized it was fake, they said to him, don't lie to me, who are you? And then he replied to them, I clearly shouldn't have. And he came clean with his true identity.
Mangione was taken into custody and has since been charged with murder by New York police.
He matches the description of the identification we've been looking for. He's also in possession of several items that we believe will connect him to this incident.
Listen, I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter.
My thought is he really didn't think he was going to get caught for a while. But he made enough mistakes that he was going to get caught.
The weapon used by Mangione was a 3D printed gun known as a ghost gun. It's believed he made it at home.
That's been a problem here in the US. The problem there is that you can't trace the weapon. It's got no serial number. You can't trace it back to the original person that bought it, that sold it. There's no record of the gun, so it's almost like it doesn't even exist, hence the name ghost gun. So he made his own weapon and then used it to kill this man, and then loaded it with bullets.
Former FBI Special Agent Jeff Wood believes Mangione was not familiar with how to use guns.
Each time he fired, he had to conduct what we call in law enforcement, a rack tap reload, where basically you're tapping the magazine, making sure it's inserted properly. You're racking the chamber to clear the jam and chamber a new round. But he had to do that each time he pulled the trigger. Someone who had more knowledge, someone who maybe had been around firearms and actually have shot at people before.
According to US authorities, the alleged killer had carved words into each of the bullets.
And you had this suspect who thought enough of the situation to write some very key words on the actual bullets. He wrote, deny, defend, and depose. That's sort of known as the 3 Ds of people that were against the healthcare industry.
So much speculation remains around the motive behind the killing of Brian Thompson. One clue could be in the handwritten manifesto that Mangione was found with when he was arrested. The 26-year-old expressed a hatred for corporate America, writing, quote, "These parasites had it coming, and I do apologise for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done."
It seems like he was going after the healthcare industry. It seems like he was taking issue with that. That is the clearest indication that we have to a motive.
Now, one of the most bizarre things in this entire case has been the reaction. Thousands of Americans have gotten behind the alleged assassin, taking to social media to express their support.
Would that have been an obstacle for law enforcement in this case, the fact that there is a level of sympathy towards this guy from some sectors of the community in the US?
Oh, I absolutely believe that could be a possibility, yes. You show sympathy, maybe you have somebody who recognizes him on the bus, who recognizes him somewhere earlier, and for whatever reason, maybe they've had problems with healthcare industries. Maybe they've had a loved one that passed away due to poor healthcare coverage. And so they see this as their Robin Hood, their person who is sending a statement. So instead of calling the police and notifying them, hey, that person, we've got a possible suspect to look at 3 days earlier, 4 days earlier, it goes on until finally someone recognizes him and calls the police.
In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero.
Now a big deep dive goes on where they will research because they want to find out, why did you pick this CEO? I mean, when you've got health insurance CEOs around the country, why did you pick this one? Why did you lay in wait for this person? And to me, that suggests there's something going on where somebody either associated family with this suspect or he himself had problems with that healthcare facility.
Oh my God, that's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.